favourite memory of Trey and Jack together was watching them working towards their first year choreographic piece when they were working together as a group. It was very much touch and go as to whether they would have a complete piece, and they really pulled it together in the end. And they created a piece which was really interesting to watch, I felt, and worked hard and really developed their skills and definitely showed them in the assessments.
My favourite memory of Jack in uni was doing Coll's choreo when he did Take You Down. Did this like 3-metre high dolphin dive, and that's the moment that I knew we were going to be together. I'm dead. Actually was like.
My best memory of Jack would have to be in first year when we battled in lock-in, and him and Dennis ended up getting to the final. And it was just funny how the night before they actually didn't have any sets, and then 24 hours later they had loads and they were in the final.
Yo, you know they used to call me in school Tony Hawk!
My favourite memory of Trey was most probably when he qualified for the World Championships and we went to, I think it was Germany for the first time. His energy was just exciting and the vibe there was just mad. So that would most probably be like my favourite memory of Trey. But we've had too many memories in it, so it's hard to just compact it into one memory.
I really enjoyed working with Trey, and I would say that the thing that stands out for me is how hardworking he was. Despite challenges and obstacles, he was always on task, always found a way to kind of work around things to kind of achieve the best result possible, and he was very appreciative and definitely a pleasure to teach.
I wanted to get some food, fam. Where you at? Where are you?
My favourite memory with Jack would definitely be during our rehearsals for a master's piece that we were both in. And we needed to be really serious in this section, like that was what it was all about. But every time I looked at him, I just lost all of my seriousness. Like I couldn't hold it together. I was fine until I looked at Jack. And it was just the charm in his face, it just got me every time.
My favourite memory with him would be in a piece as well, in rehearsals. And this guy, he had the idea of doing origami in the set. And he wanted to make plenty, but we went through the rehearsals, we even finished our duets. And Jack was still there doing one origami, still folding it, looking on YouTube like, yeah, in the end we never used it.
So the most memorable thing about Jack is mostly when he put his situation on Snapchat. That was the funniest, and that night was just the funniest. That was most probably, that would be the, yeah, that's the one still.
It's hard to kind of think of a favourite memory of Jack because it's more about his presence in the class that just, you know, makes me feel happy. Like knowing that when he was in the class, you could just sense that his energy was there. You walk into a room and you can, and also if I knew that he was in the room with the rest of the group that had this underlying innuendo kind of like vibe, anything that you had to say had to be, I had to think very well about how I was going to say it, so it didn't spark off any like uproars of laughter.
So my favourite memory of Trey was moving to UEL because we both moved up from Oxford with Kai, and we lived together in our first year, and we used to be up all the time late playing games. They used to taught me this game called Milano that they used to play back home, and Trey was always just so confused if I ever won, and used to just say it was a fluke like every single time. He could never just accept that maybe I was good at the game.
Hi Trey, where are you? In the boot, where do you think I am? Are you alright? No! What's up? Is that your phone? Fuck! I swear I'll beat you up. What's up Trey? What's up Trey? I don't like this. Hold on this. Yeah, okay.
Favourite memory of Trey? We only had the privilege to have Trey on the course for a year, and when he started in September, he always had a positive energy. Then I was teaching him on the battles module, and in the first part of that, he had to do a presentation, and that's when he did a presentation on the social dance. I think it was the Charleston, and it was really nice to hear him speak, because in class he would just be really kind of like a good student, sit there attentively taking notes, but it was that moment of seeing him kind of own the space, and that was really nice. So, and then he had to do kind of like a demonstration. And I remember, it's really weird what you remember. I remember him wearing Timberland boots, because I was like, wow, he's doing Charleston in Timberland boots, that's nice. But he just owned it, and he did it, and everyone in the kind of like studio, it was in Studio 1, just like applauded after. And it was just really nice to see him just get on with it and just, show his dance skills off.
Qualities I would say about Jack would be strong. It's the first one, because I would say Jack was always strong because he was very strong in his mind and what he believed in and his own constitution. I think he was also he had a very strong foundation in believing in himself, which I always found was really inspiring.
Selfless, he'd do everything for everyone else, he'd put everyone else first, and supportive, he'd support everything that I ever did and for everyone else in uni.
Having Jack in the building was just always a really great presence. He was always really kind of calming, I think, for other students. He was very kind of relaxed and fun about things, and I think he brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. It was definitely a pleasure to teach him. I always enjoyed all of my interactions and conversations with him over the 4 years. And I'd say the only time it wasn't as great to see him in the building was when he was asleep.
Authentic. He just different. Like, I think that's the best word I can use for you, different.
Words to describe Jack. Ain't too hard, He's a crazy guy. Alive for real, cause funny. There's loads, but crazy is the one that come to my mind. Yeah, check, cause crazy in the sense like he would be down with you. Anything you do and anything you suggest, he'll be with you. He'll be with you. Proper every time.
Jack, I ain't sleeping like that, man.
The best way to describe Trey was to say that he was just one of the most kindest people ever. Like, he was always happy, he never complained about anything. He was just a lovely person.
Qualities that describe Trey would be genuine, pleasant, and just enjoyable. Yeah, very enjoyable person.
With Trey, I think the qualities that I saw for the brief period that I had him on the programme is that he's just a very kind-hearted, natured man.
Jack was so funny. Everyone can tell you Jack was so funny, but he was so loyal. He wasn't the kind of friend that would be like, oh, if he was being lazy or
if you wasn't being your best self, he wouldn't kind of be like, oh, it's fine, you know. He would always bring out the best in you and push you, like everyone around him.
Qualities that best describe Jack would be fearless, caring, and spontaneous, because he'd always come back with a random tattoo.
I can say 3 words easily, but
Yeah.
can I swear?
I don't know. If you do, I'll just beep it out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send it to Coll, and then if she's approved, she approves it.
I got 3 perfect words. My fucking Donny.